other hand, I'm going to reach through and push the cylinder out. And then I have 6 rounds that are inside there, and I'm going to make sure you get a shot of that. Now, to get those rounds out, you can do one of two things. You can just turn upside down, and a lot of times they'll just fall out, depending upon how clean the gun is. And if they wouldn't have fallen out, what I would do is I would use my other hand, and I would depress the extractor rod, and the rounds would come out with the star extractor, as you can see right there in that shot. So now this gun is basically unloaded. I'm going to put it back down on the table. Next gun we're going to look at is a Beretta. This is a Jetfire. This is a 25 caliber automatic pistol. It's a single action automatic. Once again, keeping the muzzle pointing in a safe direction, keeping my finger away from the trigger. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to show you on the left side of the frame. There is a magazine release button, and it's located down here at the bottom of the frame, on the back of the frame. I will push the button down, and out comes the magazine. Pull the magazine out. It is unloaded. Now, with this style of pistol, it has a very unique feature. It's got a pop-top barrel, and basically there's a lever here, again, on the left side of the frame that I can push out, and you'll see the barrel pop up. You see that? So you push this down, the barrel pops right up. Now you can visually inspect the barrel. You'll see there are no rounds inside that chamber, this being the barrel. This is the chamber, the first part of the barrel right up here. And this gun is now empty and ready to drop, and I will go ahead and put it. Next gun is a Taurus PT-22. This is a double action only pistol, and you can see that this gun is very unique because it is, once again, double action only, and it has a bobbed hammer. This is a kind of a carry gun, a gun you can put in your purse or in your pocket. And first thing I'm going to do, once again, keeping the muzzle pointed in a safe direction, I've got to drop the magazine out. Keep my finger away and out of the trigger guard area there. There's, on the left side of the frame, there is a button where you can depress. And this one I have to actually pull the magazine out, and you'll see that there are no rounds in the magazine. This gun, being similar to the Beretta we just looked at, also has a popped-up barrel. And I will depress the button right here, and the barrel will open up. And I can visually look down into the barrel, into the chamber, and see there are no rounds in there. And once again, I know that this gun is unloaded. Now that it is unloaded, let me come back here and look at this Beretta. You can see these guns are very similar to one another. They were basically designed off the same design. Taurus is the PT-22 here in my right hand. My left hand is the Beretta. This one fires the 25 caliber. This fires the 22 caliber. Both of these are considered what you'd consider pocket guns. Now let's look at this Taurus gun. You can see it has the bobbed hammer. You could basically stick that in your pocket and no one would know. And that's basically what it's all about. This is a concealed carry gun. Put it in a purse, put it in a pocket, if, of course, you have the proper fermentation. So that's what this is all about. This is the PT-22. Next gun we're going to look at is a Smith & Wesson 5-shot revolver. This is a Model 36. It's a very lightweight gun. It is also a carry gun or a concealment gun. It has only 5-shot and shoots the 38 special cartridge. Once again, keep my finger out and away from the trigger guard area. I'm going to maintain the gun like this. Looking on the left side of the frame, you'll see there is a cylinder release latch. On the Smith & Wesson guns, you want to push this forward, then with the other hand, reach through and move the cylinder out. Now I can see that there are no rounds in there, and I always like to turn it just to kind of get a visual inspection, look at each and every one, and now I know that this gun is in fact unloaded. I can close it back up and put it back on the table. At this time, I want to tell you that if I were to pick up any of these guns, again, right now, that I just looked at, I'll look at this gun again, the first thing I would do is release the cylinder release latch, push the cylinder open, and check it. In fact, if I was going to hand the gun to somebody, I would prefer to hand them the gun with the cylinder already out. That's a very proper way to do that. And never will I rely on my memory or my thought process to think that the gun is unloaded. Never. I will always open the gun up and always inspect that it is, in fact, unloaded. Here's the next gun. This is another Smith & Wesson revolver. It's a Model 60. This is a 5-shot 38 special revolver. It is also considered a carry gun. It's got a very short barrel. It has a bobbed hammer, and you can see that the hammer is bobbed. It is actually gone. Compared to the Model 36 we just looked at, this is the hammer here, and this one is bobbed. And that is, once again, to facilitate carrying the gun. You can actually put this in your pocket. You can see that it's a lightweight gun. You could walk around like that, and really not even no one can tell you have it. And when you need to get it out, it comes out. And because the hammer's bobbed, it will come out of your pants and not snag up on you. Same thing if it was in a purse or even in a holster. If you're pulling out of a holster, you don't want it to snag up on your jacket. So once again, with this gun, keeping my finger in the safe direction, the gun pointing in the safe direction, finger out of the trigger guard area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to depress the cylinder release latch here with my other hand, come through, open up the cylinder, and visually inspect that there are no rounds in there. And I'll put that in our automatic pistols. The first pistol I will show you here is a Ruger. This is a Mark II Ruger with a bull barrel. It's stainless steel, as you can see. This Ruger is somewhat different than some of the other automatic pistols you'll find because of the position of the magazine release button. It is located at the bottom of the frame. Now, once again, I'm going to keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Can't say that enough. Keep my finger off of the trigger. I'm going to turn the gun over and I'm going to look down here. There is, in fact, a magazine release button right here, and to open this, you depress it forward or just push back on it. The magazine will come out, and there it is. Now, you can, of course, do that upside down, too, and out it comes. And there are no rounds in there. Now, to look into the chamber of this gun, you can see there are two little pieces of steel sticking out here on the slide, the internal slide. I'll pull back, and I'll be able to look right down into the barrel here. And hopefully the camera will get you a good shot of that. You can see there are no rounds in there. You always want to visually inspect the barrel to make sure there are no rounds in the chamber area. Let the slide forward, and I will drop the hammer. And the gun is now empty, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction. Next gun we're going to look at is a 1911 style 9mm pistol built by Star. Now, I say 1911 style because you've probably seen a gun look like this. Colt has manufactured the 1911 45 caliber, which is this gun, for just about 90 years now. And this is the Star. This is a copy, but it shoots a 9mm cartridge. So let's look at the Star 1911 style pistol first. This is actually called a BKM Star. First thing I want to do, of course, is keep my finger off of the trigger and away from the trigger guard area. Keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Turn it over and look on the left side here. There's a magazine release button. I will depress that button with my thumb. The magazine starts to make its way out. I can pull the magazine out. Now I want to go ahead and visually inspect the chamber, so I've got to grab here with my thumb and index finger, my left hand, and pull back and look inside the chamber. And you can see there are no rounds in there. Now, for this gun, if I were to hand this to someone, a good way to do that is to actually get the slide back the whole way and put the slide stop up. And the slide stop is right here. And that way, when you hand the gun to someone, it looks like this. And it's actually caught up on the slide stop, and it maintains the fact that you can look in there, and anybody who picks the gun up off the table, as soon as they pick it up, they're going to be able to look in there, they're going to see that there are no rounds in it. So this is a very proper way to hand a gun to someone with the slide already pulled back and basically locked back with the slide lock button there on the side. To lower the slide, I have to go ahead and release the button. I can just pull down on that or gently pull back on the slide, push down on the button, and let it go forward. Now, this gun also has a hammer safety, a magazine safety. The hammer will not drop unless the magazine is placed inside the frame. So I can't drop the hammer manually. It's just going to stay up for these purposes here. If I wanted to drop the magazine, I'd have to put the hammer, I'd have to put the magazine back up into the frame and then pull the trigger. But I'll just leave it off for now. And that'll bring us to our next gun, which is this Colt 45 pistol. And this is an automatic pistol, as you can see, semi-automatic pistol, single action only. The way this works, basically, again, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction, I'm going to turn the gun over and I'm going to look on the left side of the frame, and we do, in fact, have a magazine release button here located on the left side. I can push that with my thumb, and out comes the magazine. Put the magazine on the ground, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction. I can go ahead and visually inspect the chamber area by grasping the slide with my thumb and forefinger, open up and look inside, and I'll see that there are no rounds in there. Now, once again, this has a slide stop button, so I can pull back on the slide and push up the button with my thumb.